multiple kingdoms right here with very powerful stuff. And the UN is basically saying that the warns that humanity is on the brink of annihilation with nuclear threat highest in 40 years. That's very true. And for those of you that missed the video that I just posted, actually about 2 hours ago, I posted a video that North Korea launched a unidentified projectile. Basically, what Japan is saying that it was a ballistic missile, and that's some serious stuff because that's been banned under the UN. So things are looking pretty hot right now, and a lot of warships is being sent there towards Taiwan, and submarines carrying nuclear warheads. I mean, a lot of things is going on right now. So the arms race, right? So this is what's going on. You have Russia, number one, with 6,375 nuclear weapons. I mean, why do you need that much? Why do you need all that? It's too much. Number two, 5,800. Number three, China has 300. Four, France has 290. Number five, United Kingdom with 215. Number six, Pakistan, 160. Number seven, India, 150. Number eight, Israel has 90. And number nine, North Korea has 40. Number 10 will be Iran. I believe Iran is going to have some nukes. All right, so let's see what's going on here, guys. And things are beefing up. You know, when I was a little kid, I was always afraid of seeing something like this. I always go outside and, ask myself, can this be the day that we will see a huge mushroom in the sky? I was always scared of something like that. And now that I'm older, look, a lot of people are scared of death. Everyone is scared of death. Everyone's scared of earthquakes or volcanic activity and stuff like that. But eventually, one day we're going to have to face something in life that's going to bring fear in us. But we must remind ourselves that Jesus is with us. All right, so let's see what's going on here. Humanity is on the brink of nuclear annihilation. I don't think that's going to happen yet because God is the one that's in control. But the Bible says that a third part of the world will be taken out. There's going to be a huge rising of death in this world in the end times. All right, so nuclear annihilation with the threats reaching its highest boiling point in 40 years. A top UN chief has warned the nuclear arms race has the globe teetering unacceptably close to mass atomic destruction. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said. He urged nations that have stockpiled nearly 14,000 nuclear weapons to sign the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty to avoid an international crisis. It comes as wealthy countries continue to show off a string of advanced destructive arms that could result in catastrophic conflict. He addressed the issue in a powerful tweet pleading with global powers. Now is the time to lift the cloud of nuclear conflict for good. Eliminate nuclear weapons from our world. Look, that would be so beautiful, right? That would be so beautiful. Eliminate nuclear weapons from our world. Get it out once and for all. Is that going to happen? Absolutely not. You think Russia or the U.S. is going to give up their weapons? All right, so eliminate nuclear weapons from our world and usher in a new era of trust and peace, he wrote. You're not going to find peace in this world. You're definitely not going to see no trust. All right, so the recent alliance formed between the United States, United Kingdom, and Australia has only heightened fears World War III could erupt. Yes, America, the UK, and Australia are doing something right now when it comes to submarine carrying nuclear warheads. So that's you can add that to the list of building for World War III. The United Nations boss previously raised concern about the likes of China, North Korea, and the United States among a string of other countries not yet endorsing the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty. The pact was signed by 185 countries in 1996, but has yet to come into action. We have remained in this state of limbo for too long. Now, Guterres put pressure on nations to take heed of the United States and Russia's decision to extend a new strategic arms reduction START treaty. Well, here's the thing, guys, is that Russia is not going to give up their weapons. Russia's going to be like, no, absolutely not. So, because look, Russia knows everything about the U.S. when it comes to political stuff. If I give up my weapons, then it will make me weaker, and America is going to have something much more stronger. So Russia is not going to give up their weapons. And America, yes, I do agree. America is basically provoking World War III. I mean, you have submarines in in Australia now. You have submarines that is capable of carrying nuclear warheads. And now North Korea is saying, well, hold on, man. You guys are just building for World War III. Here's some nice, beautiful ballistic missile heading towards Japan coast. Off of Japan coast. So these nations are building up. And, the Bible does warn about nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. So that's what's going on right now at the time of biblical prophecy of earthquakes and famines and pestilence and all these types of stuff. See, I believe, and I've been saying it, the war hawk are back. You know how they say America is back? They meant to say the war hawk are back. So, the only one they're missing in there is, what's his name? The man with the mustache that looked like Mr. Monopoly guy. Alright, I wanted to share that with you guys. Let's see what else is going on here. And by the way, give me a second here. So there is someone just came out and gave a warning about the shortage, saying that there's something behind the shortage that people don't know. So an industry insider reveals the truth about what is really behind the shortages at our supermarkets, Walmart, Target, and other places. Look, I'm going to share this one too, guys. Let's see what's going on in this one. Let's get to the bottom of it. We're going to end this once and for all. I'm kidding, guys. So the supply chain crisis that our supermarkets are facing is far worse than the TV has been telling us, right? So the TV keeps trying to put a happy face on the temporary shortages, but an industry insider has let me know what is really going on behind the scenes. This particular insider runs a grocery store in Maine, and he says, guys are going to have to flip it around because I see that it's stopping and then it's going and then it's stopping. That's what happened when you buy a Metro PCS phone. Okay, so I truly apologize. I said I was going to get a new phone. I've been so busy, guys. So I'm just going to read it from here, guys. So it says here, this particular insider runs a grocery store in Maine. And he says that things are as bad as he has ever seen. So, in fact, he says that he has never been or never seen anything close to what is happening now with all the shortages and stuff. So the email that he sent me the other day greatly alarmed me. And I asked him if I could share it with all the viewers. So he gave me permission to do so, as long as I didn't use his name. So I haven't received an email this startling or this shocking. in a long time. As you read this email, I think that you will quickly understand why I am saying that. So I myself employed for 25 years, now independent IGA, affiliated grocery store in Costa Maine. So this person has a grocery store and it's going to reveal the truth of this food shortage. Supply issues are real. My supplier has limited us on orders for about a month now. Limited the physical number of cases we can order. The issue was mainly the health crisis in their warehouse. Order pickers and truck drivers, same story everywhere, I know. Many of the items your reader commented about this article are the same here. Let me just turn it around, guys. Hopefully it doesn't freeze. Very limited Gatorade and gallon water is sketchy at best. Sometimes we get it, sometimes we don't. I've not seen many supply issues on produce. Rather poor quality issues there, much more than normal. Now this is talking about the food shortage. Now remember guys, even in China, there's a thing called the electricity shortage. That's a new one, electricity shortage. They're turning off the lights to many people, and possibly up to 100 million people without lights. They're saying that's a new thing now, and people need to get used to it. So we have the food shortage, the chip shortage, and the electricity shortage that soon is going to hit here. All right, Daily Bakery, yes, lots of our stocks and long-term unavailable, as my supplier likes to word it on the invoice. In the center store, dry grocery. Like others are saying, tons of out of stocks, meat supply is far, but pricing is extremely high, shockingly high to me.
Morning.
The middle class is slowly being destroyed with these prices hikes. The death by 1,000 cuts of sorts, I guess. So my Frito-Lay delivery person tells me that he is getting 55 to 60% of what he's ordering. My last Nabisco order had 30% out of stocks. Over the years, we always get 99 to 100% of what was ordered. Alright, so here comes another farm cookies. He tells me some weeks he's only getting half of what he orders. These folks all work on commissions. If they don't or can't sell it to me, they don't get paid or get paid less. When we place our liquor order twice a week out of stocks, they are running 30% of most orders. This commodity was always 99.5% to 100% fill rates over the years. Alright, so I'm not going to go through all this. Give me a second. Let me just... Because we already know what's going on here with the food shortage, but it's not giving us nothing. I mean, I don't see anything shocking here. On Friday, I went to the grocery store and they were out of several things that I wanted to purchase. Unfortunately, we continue to get more confirmation that this is going to be new. Here we go. I hate this name. I truly hate that name. I truly hate that name, guys. I mean, I'm sick and tired of it. You know, to me, look, I don't care what they call this. All I know is there's a name that the Bible gives us. It's called Bible prophecy. The Apostle Paul said there will be perilous time, perilous men. The Bible never mentioned, oh, by the way, there's going to be a thing called the new normal. It's going to be new. It's going to be normal. You got to follow it now. Jesus said as we move forward, there's going to be a lot of stuff. All right. So, for example, according to Bloomberg, meat reserves in this country have plunged to dangerously low levels. So we already know all this. Let me just skip a lot of this stuff here, guys. Okay, I'm trying to figure out where it's going. Costco this week joined the list, the long list of retailers sounding the alarm about escalating shipping prices and the accompanying supply chain issue. The warehouse retailer, which had a similar cautionary tone in May, was joined by athletic wear giant Nike. Okay, so we already know all this, but events have begun to slide out of control, and it certainly wouldn't take too much to push us into a full-blown avalanche. Okay, give me a second here. I have been warning that rampant inflation and shortages were coming for a long time, but a lot of people didn't want to believe me at first. If you were one of those doubters, do you believe me now? During the first half of this year, many economic optimists assure us that the U.S. economy will be booming by this point, but instead our economic infrastructure is being shaken on a very basic level, and we are facing enormous price hikes and very painful shortages throughout the rest of this year and next year. So even have begun to slide out of control, and certainly wouldn't take too much to push us into a full-blown avalanche. All right. So we already knew a lot of these stuff here, but I didn't read this article. I just wanted to show you guys. Yeah, we already know about all the shortages and this and that, but it didn't help us out that much when they say Industry Insider reveals the truth about what is really behind the shortages. Didn't give us a lot of information, to be honest. New scientific discovery reveals possible cause evidence of the destruction of biblical Sodom and Gomorrah. Alright, give me a second here, guys. And God bless every single one of you. Where is it? Oh, by the way, the 4-6 received his prune juice, and in New York, there's a huge event going on in New York. There's going to be a lot of people, and I heard that by Friday, this Friday in New York, a lot of teachers will be stepping down because they haven't drank the prune juice. They're going to have to leave. And it's really sad. It is. It's really sad. It's so sad that we have to come to this. You know, I remember that dude, Mr. Burns of the 4-6, he said he was not going to force. He wasn't going to force. Man, what are you doing, man? What you doing? Look, what they're doing is they're messing with people's lives. They are destroying people's lives. It's really sad. It is. It's really sad. You know, there's people out there that are crying. There's, you know, what's going on and why. It's so wrong. You shouldn't do this. And I pray for a lot of people because I know people that, you know, say, hey, Louis, I got fired, this and that. And these people, you know, the governor, I mean, they have a happy face. Well, it's not my problem. You know, they don't want to listen, so now they're going to be out of job, and people that's coming from other countries will take their job. And she has a smile on her face. I'm like, man, that is just so mean to do. I mean, it's just wrong. So that means that many people are going to end up in the street. You can't do that to people. You can't treat people like that. Man, welcome to the Red Dragon 2.0. Welcome to the Red Dragon 2.0. That's what's going on. It's the Red Dragon 2.0. Welcome to commune. You know what I'm talking about there. All right, give me a second here, guys. All right. Okay. So, guys, I was reading the book of Genesis, right, last night. when it comes to Noah after the flood, right? After the flood, I want to show you guys something really quick. Have you guys ever seen this map? Have you guys ever seen the map? Ham, Shem, Japheth. Have you guys ever seen that? That's in the book of Genesis. This is basically after the flood. This is after the flood. These three right here, these are Noah's son. These are Noah's son. So I wanna show you guys something. I want to read you a Bible a verse. Okay. Now, there we go. So give me a second. There we go. There we go. Where is it? I'm sorry, guys. Give me a second here. Okay, I'm looking for the verse, guys. It's gonna be quick.
Those dummies wanted to rush it and try to hurry up and do it and spawn every single enemy that they can until they can't handle it. Then they die over and over, and then here we are. Whatever. Dummies.
Oh, okay. It's in chat. Oh, okay. It's 9:3. Okay, I totally apologize, guys. There we go. So I want to read this really quick, right? And this is very important because it goes hand to hand what's going on nowadays. And now I do believe there is slavery going on, and a couple of weeks ago, LeBron James said that black people don't have a lot of things. It's so wrong and this and that and stuff like that. And a lot of black people are saying that we don't get that much. We don't get the respect. We don't, this and that, and it's like we're still in slavery and this and that. So I want to read something really quick in the book of Genesis. Very important. So God promised to Noah. This is Genesis chapter 9. So God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. And the fear of you and the fear of you and the dread of you shall be on every beast on the earth, on every bird on the air, on all that move on the earth." All right. So now give me a second here, guys. So we're going to go here really quick, right? So God is telling Noah and his Noah's son to start all over again and be fruitful. This is after the flood. So Noah and his sons. So the sons of Noah who went out of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now these are Noah's sons, all right? These are Noah's sons. Just remember that. And Ham was the father of Canaan. Right? These three were the sons of Noah. And from these, the whole earth was populated. And Noah began to be a farmer, and he planted a vineyard. Then he drank of the wine. Now, okay, and was drunk and became uncovered in his tent. And Ham, one of Noah's sons, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father. So Ham, this is Noah's son, he went inside the tent and he saw his dad passed out, naked, right? So Ham saw the nakedness of his father, Noah, and told his two brothers outside. But Shem and Japheth took a garment, laid it on both their shoulders, and went backwards, covered the nakedness of their father. So check this out. Ham, right? Ham saw his father naked. He went out and he told his other two brothers, Shem and Japheth, hey, dad is naked, he's drunk, and stuff like that. But the difference is that Shem and Japheth didn't see him naked. What he did was they took a garment, laid it on both their shoulders, and they went backward. They walked backwards and covered the nakedness of their father. Their faces were turned away, and they did not see their father's nakedness. Now, a lot of people say that what happened in that tent, what really took place, did Ham did something to his father, Noah, in that tent. That's what a lot of people say. Now, I'm not going to go way deep into that because the Bible doesn't mention anything about it, right? But something happened. Noah, he woke up. He woke up and he was really upset. So Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his youngest son had done to him. So in this part, a lot of people is like, did Ham did something to his dad while his dad was passed out from drinking? So what happened? Noah cursed. He cursed Canaan, which is the son of Ham. Servant of servants, he shall be to his brethren. And he said, blessed be the Lord, the God of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant. So servant is also referred to slaves, right? Is referred to slaves. You will be the slave. May God enlarge Japheth, and may he dwell in the tent of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant, his slave. And Noah lived after the flood 350 years, so all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. Noah almost lived 1,000 years. That's incredible. Okay, so Noah, he cursed Canaan. Now, if you go here really quick, here's the three sons, Japheth, Shem, and Ham. Ham is the one that saw his dad naked, and his dad woke up, and he was really upset with Ham. Now, Canaan is right there in that part, which is now Israel. But I believe Ham was also cursed. And if you look at the map, this here is part of Egypt and also Africa. Now, what did Noah said? He put a curse on this area. He put a curse on the bloodline of Ham, which is mostly all like Egyptian and Africans. And this is why the slavery is still going on here. Like there is still slavery going on. Believe it or not, there's still slavery going on in Africa, and that's why many Africans, they believe that they feel like they're still in slavery. We are still in slavery. We don't get the respect and this and that. But remember, Noah woke up from his wine and knew what his younger son Ham had done to him, and he cursed There we go. Curse be Canaan, which once again, if we go up here, that's Ham was the father of Canaan. So remember, guys, I do believe that even Ham was cursed. Cursed be Canaan, servants of servants, slaves. So what is a servant? What is a servant? A person who performs duties for others, especially a person employed in a house or domestic duties or as a personal attendant. So a servant could also be, which a lot of people translate it as slaves. And that's why when I was reading that part, I'm like, whoa. And then I was looking at the map and noticed that in this area, yes, there is a lot of slavery going on. So Noah, he cursed Ham, and he cursed Canaan, which is Ham's son. But Shem and Japheth, this area right here, right, and this area right here, they will not curse. Blessed be the Lord, the God of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant. May God enlarge Japheth, and may he dwell in the tents of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant. That's why it's very important to read the scriptures, because it's so much things, and it does make sense why this area right here, like Africa, Uganda, and all that, and they still, till now, there is slavery, and slavery exists here, and it's still going on. The curse of Noah to Ham and Canaan is still going on. It still goes on. That curse still goes on. And this is why it's really powerful. It is. It's so powerful how the Bible, it's just incredible. Because, look, we all read scriptures, but if you read it again over and you miss something, you're going to be like, whoa, hold on, I missed this one here. So it goes, figure why Africa is seeing a lot of it. Because Noah, he cursed Ham. And Ham is basically that location there. Canaan is a different story now. Canaan, which, if you look right here, Noah cursed Canaan. Canaan is right there. You see that part right there? It says Canaan. That, ladies and gentlemen, that is now Israel. And you guys already know that Joshua, the next story comes of Abraham and Sarah, and then you have the story of Joshua. He comes to Canaan. So the book of Genesis, I suggest people to start reading the book of Genesis because it's really powerful. It is. That's where everything started, man. That's when God saw that you had Nimrod, right? Nimrod came from Ham. Nimrod came from Ham. And who else? Pharaoh. Remember Pharaoh? The 3 days of darkness? Pharaoh came from Ham. So it's a lot of bad people came from Ham. A lot of bad people came from Ham. So what I'm planning to do is I want to get a board and write down the timeline of, this person begot this person begot this person, because the Bible has all the lists of, the bloodlines. And it's very important you follow those bloodlines. It's very important that you follow those names, because I'm like, there's all these names, and You know, and it's very important that you cannot skip all of them, because a lot of people say, I don't want to read their names. No, it's very important to read their names. It's very important, because I skipped them many times, and last night I was reading that, and I mean, it's just so many things I missed. All right, give me a second here. So here's the thing, guys. My wife was telling me she was writing there was someone, I don't know. She's like, oh man, some people writing me. I'm like, what's going on? Because we have a Facebook group, right? And people come and leave their stuff, right? But there was someone, supposedly the Black Israelites and stuff like that, and it just, one thing I tell you guys is that I believe that Jesus came, God sent his son Jesus, and Jesus died for every single one of us, all of us. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what nation you come from. It doesn't matter. Jesus died for every single one of us. Every single one of us. Now, I heard about the Black Israelites. I heard about them and stuff like that, but I'm just going to say it. I might get a lot of dislike, but I just don't agree with the Black Israelites. One of the person that I spoke to, actually, they were in a live stream about 3 years ago, right, at my channel, Grand Supreme News, and they were saying how the whites will be the slaves. When they come to heaven, there will be slaves. No. Nowhere in the Bible says that. Look, nowhere in the Bible says that the white people will be the slaves in heaven or after death or something. Nowhere in the Bible says that. Here's the thing. The Black Israelites, here's the thing. I'm breaking down everything here to you guys. I'm literally breaking down everything here. All right, and this is all in scriptures. This area right here, Ham, right? Ham did something bad to his father. Ham did something bad to his father. Something happened in that tent that made his father curse him. All right, curse him and his son Canaan. So in this area, Ham was cursed and Canaan was cursed. And they were cursed, and basically, they are servants of servants. So Ham has to, listen to Shem and Japheth, and a lot of stuff, a lot of bad things was happening in this area. Pharaoh, the 3 days of darkness and all that. Nimrod building the tower all the way to the heavens, and God saying no more, smashing it and dividing nations and different languages. So in this, Ham bloodline, there was a lot of bad stuff going on. There was a lot of bad stuff going on. And if you look at this map, right, this is all Egypt and Africa stuff. Africa, Egypt, Uganda. Let's look at another map. Here we go. All right. There's Canaan right here, right, which is now considered Israel. And the story goes on. So I want to read the story tonight. I will read the Bible because it's very powerful. I love it. Again, guys, when I read scripture, I read mostly the New Testament, right? But then something told me to read the book of Genesis, and I got to the book of Genesis. And by the way, Egypt has been around for 6,000 years. Everybody knows that and stuff like that. They say that China's the oldest one. I don't know where they get that. I don't know where they get that China's the oldest one. But right now, guys, what I'm focusing right now is Ham, the bloodline in this area. Now, many people believe that Jesus Christ came out from this area. That's what people are saying. So, give me a second here, guys. So, once again, for those of you that tuned in, right? I was reading the book of Genesis, chapter 9. We're going to go to verse 25. Actually, no. We're going to go to verse 18. Noah and his son. This is after the flood. This is when everything starts new. And God said, be fruitful, go out and multiply. Now the sons of Noah who went out of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And Ham was the father of Canaan. These three were the sons of Noah. And these three, and from these the whole earth was populated. And Noah began to be a farmer, and he planted a vineyard. Then he drank of the wine. He was drunk, and became uncovered in his tent. So he was naked. He passed down naked in his tent. And Ham, which is Noah's son, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and told his two brothers outside. But Shem and Japheth took a garment, laid it on both their shoulders, and went backwards and covered the nakedness of their father. Their faces were turned away, and did not see their father's nakedness. Alright, so Ham went inside. He saw his father naked. The two brothers didn't. They walked backwards and they put a cover on their father. Then they saw the nakedness. So it says here, so Noah, right? So Noah awoke from his wine, and he was not happy. He was not happy. And he knew what his younger son had done to him. So we don't know what happened in that story, but a lot of people saying that something happened at that tent. Maybe Ham had sexual relationship with his, whatever, but nobody knows it. The Bible doesn't say it. There's nowhere in Scripture that says that. People just assume things. But Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done to him. Then he said, "Cursed be Canaan, which is Ham's son. Servants of servants, he shall be to his brother." And he said, "Blessed be the Lord." So let's concentrate on this part right here, right? So he cursed Canaan, which is Ham's son. Canaan is right here. He's cursed. Ham is also cursed. Again, guys, because these are the two bloodlines. Ham is the father. Canaan is related to Ham. Ham is the father, right? So these two areas has been getting cursed, especially this area right here. This is where Pharaoh and Nimrod and all the stuff was going on in that area. So they were cursed. So they were cursed, and servants are servants. And I do believe servant is also referred to slave. This is why there's a lot of slavery going on here, and especially in Africa. And slavery still goes on. And, this is why so many Africans are saying, we're still enslaved. Yeah, because what Ham had done. Ham did something, and that's why Noah cursed Ham and cursed Canaan. So, again, Noah said, there will be servants of servants. Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants. He shall be to his brethren. So I just wanted to share that to you guys. And I searched up, is slavery still going on? Slavery is still going on right now. And guess where? Slavery is still going on in this area. It's still going on. Now in North K and China is still, but slavery is going on more in this area in Africa. And remember what Noah said. Because be Canaan is servants of servants, he shall be to his brother. Slavery still exists in this area. 6,000 years later, slavery still exists in that area. Why? Because Ham did something to his dad. I don't know what it was, but his dad woke up and he was not happy and he cursed him. He cursed him and he cursed his son Canaan. Alright. We had slavery in America too. It's not the same slavery. I mean, well, to be honest, I'm focusing more on this one here, right? Because I don't want to jump way 6,000 years later into America. I'm focusing right now in like doing study in the Old Testament. But the slavery exists in America. Well, here's the thing. Africa is a lot worse. Africa is a lot worse. In Africa, those people cannot have certain people cannot have phones. And the young ones are taken away, and let me show you. So here's the thing, guys. Modern slavery is a multi-billion-dollar industry with just the forced labor aspect generating US $150 billion each year. The Global Slavery Index estimated roughly 40.3 million individuals are currently caught in modern slavery, with 71% of those being females. Wow. And 1 in 4 being young ones. Oh, man. Seventy-one percent are female. Where's the man at? Now, guys, if this area is, just follow me on this one, right? If this area is seeing the slavery and all that, what Noah has cursed Ham and Canaan, right? And let's say these people that live here, like in Egypt or Africa, comes to America. Is the curse broken? Is that curse broken? Because the curse is still put on in this area, in this country, and all this area here. If these people leave this area and go to America, is that curse broken? Well, absolutely not. It's not broken. You know why? Because till this day, turn on the television and you see BLM, they still think that they're in slavery. They have that in them, that thinking of slavery. They still have it. Black people still have that. You know why? Because, again, they're cursed. I mean, don't go after me, but, again, what Ham did to Noah, Noah cursed them. Noah cursed Ham. And the Ham bloodline is, spread out to that area, Egypt and Africa, Uganda, and all that. So it's all written in scriptures, guys. It's all written in scriptures. The only one that complains about, being slavery and RD is all right here. And guys, I'm not trying to be mean here, but it's all scriptures. It's all right here. Let me see if I can get a better picture here. Oh, geez, made it small. There you go. Bam. Africa. Okay. Here you go, Ham. That's Ham right here. Ham. Here's Africa. Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done to him. Ham did something bad, and Noah cursed Ham and Canaan, and made him a servant of servants, basically slaves. There you go. Now, if these people leave to go to America, to another country, they're still going to have it. They're still going to have that curse. They're still going to have that curse. And the good thing is, that curse could be broken. Because God sent his son, Jesus Christ, man. God sent Jesus. God sent Jesus Christ. And look, Jesus died for every single one of us. He don't care if you're white, black, Chinese, purple, pink. Jesus died for everyone. Jesus said, you believe in me, you have a new life. You're born again. You don't need to go follow whatever. You don't need to think about none of that. Again, I'm here. Shem, all right. So if you guys want to read the book of Genesis, I suggest you guys read it. Japhet is also Turkey. And by the way, guys, when it comes to Greece, this area right here was hit with a 6.0 magnitude earthquake today. Actually, it happened yesterday because it's 12:38 a.m. Eastern time. How did they just show up in 1948? Someone said. I don't get it. What do you mean 1948? Hello from Olympia, Washington. God bless every one of you. God bless you, Dana. Then why do they have the highest rate of skin cancer if they are from that area? I have no idea. I mean, when it comes to like this, those diseases and stuff like that from a country, I have no idea. I mean, look. Once again, guys, when it comes to, let's see, give me a second here. Servants. What is servants? Servants typically work 4 to 7 years in exchange for passage, room, board, lodging, and freedom dues while the life. Okay, basically, guys, servants means someone that works for somebody. You are basically property of someone, and that's what basically slavery is. You have an owner. You work for someone. You push things. You work a ship. I mean, you work for someone. You are a servant of servants. It's like what's the name? A good example, right? It's like Abraham and what's her name? It's not Sarah. It's that servant they had, the Egyptian woman. What was her name? Bathsheba? No, Bathsheba? Was that her name? Bathsheba? She was a servant. She was basically a slave. She was hired by Abraham, and she had to listen to Abraham. Hagar, there you go. I know it was a weird name. Hagar, there you go. Hagar was a servant, and that's a good example. She was from Egypt. She was from Egypt, a servant of servants. So, if you read the scriptures, you can see that it all lines up. It all lines up. And like I say, guys, 6,000 years later, right? Turn on the television. Turn it on. The BL, is still going at it. People, African American, again, I'm not trying to be mean here. I'm not trying to start anything. but a lot of them still feel like, hey, we still in slavery no matter what. You can blame Ham for that. Ham is the one that did something to Noah, and Noah cursed Ham and Canaan. Now, someone said that this is why Israel is part of when it comes to Ham and all that. But that's a whole different story, because I do believe that something happened that came out of Shem. All right, something happened that came out of Shem. So that right there is going to be for tomorrow. I'm gonna read the scriptures and stuff like that, and so I just want to share it to you guys. And like I said, at the very end, guys, it's all scriptures, and I just don't want people to get offended and stuff like that. I just don't want people to get offended. But I just wanted to share this. God and the son Ishmael. Yeah, Ishmael is Abraham's first son. Ishmael and Isaac. Isaac is son of Sarah had a child with Abraham. They were really old. I mean, like old as dirt and stuff like that. So Isaac and Hagar had a child with Abraham, and that was Ishmael. So you have two bloodlines there, right? You basically had the Muslim and the Jews and stuff like that. It's really powerful if you read scriptures. And one thing I tell you guys, a lot of people, when they read the Bible, some people just get bothered, say, man, God, why you got to do it like that? And look, Jesus said, well, sometime, we start to ask questions to God. Well, God, I mean, why do you do this? He gave Moses the 10 Commandments, and you should not commit adultery, but the man had multiple wives. And, then you had David, and David was a murderer, and he was an adulterer, and supposedly he was a bad father, and this and that, and, you still loved him. So, but it just, people get bothered by it, say, but here's the thing, is that sometimes, people need to kind of focus a little more and see that, God knows what he's doing, and we should put our trust in him. Don't let your mind just play tricks on you and stuff like that. Yes, there was a lot of things in the Bible, like Moses had multiple wives. You're like, Moses had multiple wives, but he's walking around with the 10 Commandments and stuff like that. So it just, when it comes to that, just put your faith and trust in God. 117 people watching, 117 likes. That's amazing. The promised seed of Abraham is Christ Jesus, not any race, sex, or nation, including the modern state of Israel. There was a huge argument going on social media, supposedly, that Jesus was black and this and that. Look, we need to understand something here. We need to stop this division. We need to stop it once and for all. If Jesus was white, black, purple, pink, look, we need to stop that, man. We need to stop it. Look, I come from Puerto Rico, and I don't be saying, hey, Jesus is Puerto Rican, stuff like that. I don't say that. I don't. All I know is that God sent his son Jesus, the light, and I'm happy. And I'm happy because Jesus died for me, and Jesus made me new, and Jesus is the only way, and I'm happy that God sent his son. So all I know is that I feel grateful. I feel blessed that I have Jesus within me, and Jesus is with us. I'm just happy. I'm happy. But can we please just drop, Jesus was black, or Chinese, or this. Yeah, look, just drop it, and let's just accept it that, he's the light. He's the light. When I see Jesus, you know what I see? I see a bright light, a beautiful light. look, this light in here and stuff like that, right? This light's here, this light's here. But I see Jesus, the light's really powerful, right? It's just a light that's, will make you bow down to your knees and say, this is the Messiah. I mean, one day we're going to see that light. One day we're going to see Jesus. But right now, we cannot be all divided and going against each other and, debating. Here's the thing, guys. There's a lot of debating. A lot of debating. And I've seen so many, I've spoken to many different religious people. I've spoken to Black Israelites. I've spoken to Jehovah's Witness. I've spoken to Catholic. I've spoken to 7 Days Adventists. I've seen it all. I even have Muslim friends and stuff like that. I've seen it. I heard it. I even had Mormons friends and stuff like that. I've seen it. I've seen it. But Christian is the one that calls me. I'm a Christ-like, and I carry the cross, and I'm putting on the full armor of God, and I'm walking with Jesus. At the very end, Jesus said he would come. He would spread the true gospel to the whole world, and then the end shall come. That true gospel is going to wake up a lot of people, I'll tell you that. All right. Is Puerto Rican a color? Puerto Rican is all mixed. Puerto Rican, I don't know. I heard a lot of stories. Puerto Rican is all mixed. There were Africans that were put in Puerto Rico, right? And there was Puerto Rico was like Taino, India. What is Taino? Well, this is Puerto Rico. We still celebrate Taino. This is Puerto Rico. The Taino were in, give me a second, the Taino were an Arawak people. Come on, stop freezing on me. People of the Caribbean and Florida. Alright guys, so I need to get a new phone. Alright, so at the time of the European contact in the late 15th century, they were the principal inhabitants of most of Cuba, Jamaica, Hispaniola, the Dominican Republic, and Haiti, and Puerto Rico. So the Taino were, again, Indians, right? And then you had Christopher Columbus and Ponce de Leon, right? They came and they bought their ships and stuff like that, and Africans were sent to Puerto Rico and certain parts of the islands, supposedly Dominican and stuff like that, and basically mixed, right? Taino and African mixed. And you got me. People's like, oh wow, you came out? Actually, it was Taino, African, and I think there was some whites. And yeah, so Puerto Rican, Spanish, both Spanish and English are the official languages of Puerto Rico, but Spanish is without a doubt the dominant language. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to see, because we are mixed. We definitely mixed. Okay. We're going to end this once and for all. Let's see what's going on. Nationality, noun, Puerto Ricans. Adjective, Puerto Rican. Ethnic, couples, okay. So, white, mostly Spanish origin, 80.5%. Black, 8%. Amerindian, or Indian, 0.4%. Asian, 0.2%. Mixed, and other, 10.9%. Jeez, we are all mixed. Man. So that's Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is basically white, black, American Indian, Alaska Native, and other. So we are all mixed. In another word, it's like, you know how a pit bull is not a full breed. A pit bull is mixed. A pit bull is a mixed dog. It's not a full breed. So that's basically what we are. We are all mixed. All right. And this is why many Puerto Ricans have anger problems. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. All right. I'm Puerto Rican, so I'm not against anyone. I'm for the truth. Anthony saying, I'm half German and half mutt. And isn't mutt what they call a dog that has many mixed breeds? Yeah, I think so. When I first heard that name, I'm like, isn't that... so, yeah, that's true. And God bless you, Anthony. God bless you, brother. Actually, guys, I wanted to show you guys something else. Babe, what was that verse in Daniel 4:18? I want to show you guys something really quick. 4:18. All right. I want to show you guys something. I want to show you guys something. Okay. All right. Daniel 4:18, King James Version. I want to read this really quick. This dream I, King Nebuchadnezzar, have seen. Now, though all Belteshazzar, that's Daniel, he gave that name to Daniel, by the way, declared the interpretation thereof, for as much as all the wise men of my kingdom are not able to make known unto me the interpretation. But thou art able, for the spirit of the holy gods is in thee. Alright? Let's go to the New King James Version. This dream I, King Nebuchadnezzar, have seen. Now you, Belteshazzar, declare its interpretation, since all the wise men of my kingdom are not able to make known to me the interpretation, but you are able. For the spirit of the holy gods, the holy God is in you. All right. So something is wrong with the King James Version Bible. Something is wrong. My son caught this. My son, Michael. My wife and my son was doing the Bible study. And my wife is reading it, and my son stopped her and said, hold on, can you read that again? Something is wrong with that verse. So I don't know if you guys can see what's wrong with the verse. Tell me if you guys see what's wrong with the verse. This is the New King James Version. All right, this is the New King James Version, Daniel 4:18. And this is the New King James Version, Daniel 4:18. So I don't know if you guys see the problem here. I don't know if you guys can pick it up, but so Someone said, yep, everything but the King James Version is corrupt, someone said. Well, I just want you guys to take a look at it really quick. Alright. Here, in the King James Version, right? No, there's nothing missing here. There's nothing missing. I mean, it's here, right? There's nothing missing in this verse. And there's nothing missing in this verse. It's just something is wrong here. My son caught it. Alright? So, here we go. If you look at this right here, for the Spirit of the holy gods is in thee. If you go to the New King James Version, they had the capital S. Spirit of the holy God, with no S at the end. You see how they have the capital S, the capital H, and the capital G. This is the holy God is in you. The holy God is in Daniel. Right? There's no S at the end. There's no lowercase g or lowercase h. But if you go to King James Version, the holy gods is in you. Why did the King James Version had to put this here? Multiple gods inside Daniel, and it has a lowercase h and a lowercase g. Remember, the true God of Daniel, the G is always capital, and it just, you know, my son saw it and heard it. The Spirit of the holy gods is in thee. So that's the King James Version, and the New King James Version says the Spirit of the holy God. No S at the end. This is why I have multiple Bibles. This is why I have multiple Bibles. I do read from the King James Version. I do read from the NIV, from the NLT. Now, I did research why does the King James Version say this? Well, the reason why is because it's not. Supposedly, the King James Version didn't make that mistake. It is written in the tablets, the original scrolls. Basically, King Nebuchadnezzar said those words because King Nebuchadnezzar was like a, what do you call that? A pagan. King Nebuchadnezzar was a pagan. So King Nebuchadnezzar, where he was from, the Babylonians, they had all these beliefs of multiple gods. So when he told Daniel, the Holy Spirit of the multiple gods is in you, it's not basically it's not the King James Version fault. It is written like that. So so many people caught that and say, well, it's because Nebuchadnezzar was a pagan person, and that country, Babylon, had multiple gods and this and that, and that's what he told them. So, and by the way, he didn't name them Daniel. He named them Belteshazzar. Right. That is what the king said. Is what he believed. Yes, yes. So some people. I don't know if anybody caught that, but I did read an article that was posted back in 2015, and someone said that they caught that, and supposedly it's not the King James Version. So don't say the King James Version is bad and they changing words. No, that's what King Nebuchadnezzar said. Now remember, King Nebuchadnezzar, God gave him a new heart, and King Nebuchadnezzar saw that Daniel's God is a true God. So it's very powerful, guys, the Bible. It's very powerful. Our holy God is the head of the Godhead, the Father God. Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit, they were all present at creation. Yeah. Remember, guys, and Jesus, God said, let us make man in our image. And God is speaking You know, God is saying, let us make. So who's us? Who's us? When God was creating the world, someone was with God. Let us. You know, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. All right. So very important, guys. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the Bible study. Please, to all my brothers out there, man. I hope people didn't get mad when it comes to Ham, Shem, and Jairus. All right. So hopefully, you know, people don't get offended with that. But yeah, just read the scriptures. It's very important to stay in the scriptures. All right. I wish my parents believe in Jesus Christ. I will pray for your parents, Rainbow. I will pray for your parents. Have faith. Have faith. God has plans. I have a hard time deciphering the Bible. I don't know what that word means, but I love listening to scriptures. Hey, you know, when you read scriptures, just put on the full armor. Pray to God. God, show me wisdom and knowledge, and help me understand these words. And the Bible that I have, and by the way, it was a Bible that Anthony gave me too. It has a picture of the map, and that's what helps out a lot. It does. It helps out a lot. And that's why I have like 5 or 6 Bibles, because I go left and right, and just, you know. But ask for the Holy Spirit to give you understanding. Absolutely. Absolutely. Anyway, I'm going to end this stream. So please share this video. Give this video a big thumbs up. And for those of you that want to give your life to Christ, you can email me. My email is in the description box. Also, please don't take this video and don't think that I'm going after or, you know, saying bad things to people. I'm not. This is all, you know, Bible study. It's all in scriptures. I mean, I just show everyone just the verse, the maps, and everything. It's all written in scriptures. Anyway, guys, have a good night. God bless you.
This is cellulose acetate, a plant-based material that's not only extremely durable, but also quite flexible, making it ideal for warby.
Time is running out for tenants on the brink of eviction, but there's plenty of money left to bail them out. That is the message from Secretary Lourdes Castro Ramirez, who runs the state's Business, Consumer Services, and Housing Agency. That's the agency in charge of California's $5.2 billion.
Good morning, guys. I'm sitting here on the back porch. It's just before 7 a.m. About to go do some sprints on the bike, but I thought I'd knock this video out before I did that. First of all, thank you guys very much for expressing your support for what I'm doing. It means a lot. It keeps me encouraged to keep doing what I'm doing, and you know, hopefully making a difference in the lives of many people. This is, you know, a study. This came out looking at the impact of the COVID-19 response on childhood obesity in the United States. And, you know, I think it was a survey done in the Kaiser Permanente group in California. And they looked at, you know, several kids which are representative of the population. And, you know, the first thing that shocked me was something like 33% of kids were, you know, already having issues with obesity. After the, you know, response, which you know, included, you know, being locked at home, not being able to go outside, exercise in many cases, other restrictions, you know, obviously many people loaded up on junk food, has resulted in a, you know, relative increase of about 23% in the obesity rate, you know, and so 8% more of these kids, primarily affecting the 5 to 11-year-old group, you know, and so if we look at, you 19 have died with coronavirus. Now, what their comorbidities of those children are, I don't think it's known for sure, but likely these are mostly kids that had significant underlying comorbidities. Many of them already may have been fairly sick to start with. But regardless, 335. Now you look at an 8% increase in obesity in this youth population. That's somewhere in the order of around 6 million new additional kids falling into this obese category. That's devastating. These kids that are obese at young ages are going to be at incredibly increased risks for just about every negative outcome you can think of. I mean, they're diabetes.
My name is Clint. I am 67 years old. I've been dealing...
Welcome to our channel. This is Stu. I want to bring you the news that the result of yesterday's presentation of the audit results from the audit of the 2020 election results in Maricopa County is clear. The 2020 election results in Maricopa County should never have been certified with 46 as...
Hey guys, Dwayne here. Today I want to talk a little bit about fear tactics that are used by narcissists and how it impacts us and what we can do about it. So in this video I want to talk a little bit about how they use fear against us to get what they want, what they're really trying to accomplish, and I want to talk a little bit about methods to cope with that fear and what to do, what to do with it and how to respond to it. Okay, so the first thing is how they use fear against us. Well, right off the bat, a narcissist knows, they know who we are, right? They have spent all this time studying us, mirroring what we want emotionally back, but they've also been watching us, and they know, we trusted them. So we have been open with them, right? If you're in a relationship with somebody, you are going to be open with them, and you are going to be honest and share information. So they know specifically how to target our fears, what's important to us, and how to deal with it. I mean, okay, so the targets are like your kids, right? They can target, you're never going to see your kids again. You're not going to get access. We're going to move states. We're going to do, that they're going to move. They're going to make sure that you only get to see them every other weekend or supervised visits or whatever. Next thing they can target is your employment. They can threaten to cause problems with your job and try to get you to lose your job. And they can go after possessions. If there's anything that they know that's important to you, they'll probably bring it up. They'll probably, start targeting things that they know or that they think is really important to you to try to get control over you. And the last thing, and I think this one is really devastating, is when they take your private past, intimate details, and everybody has, whenever you're with somebody and you trust them and you love them and you have a strong relationship with them, or so you think, you share things, right? They know your deep, dark secrets, and they can also utilize that to try to instill fear in you during this process. And the process is from separation to divorce and beyond, right? Okay, so what are they really trying to accomplish when they do this? Okay, because initially you're going to be really confused. You're going to be scared. You're going to be emotionally dysregulated, and you're going to be paralyzed in fear, right? And that's what they're trying to do. They will try to use this fear to paralyze you from action. They're trying to make it to where you can't think straight, and it gives them an advantage when all this is going on. So they can also make threats of possible outcomes. Like I mentioned before, they could say, you're never going to get to see the kids again. You're going to get fired from your job because I'm going to tell them how corrupt or evil or whatever. that they can try to do, and they're all trying to do. It's all about getting control and to emotionally dysregulate you, for emotional dysregulation, to get control, to be able to control your emotions and give them an advantage, right? So what they are doing is they're keeping us stressed and worried. So we're making emotional decisions. We're not making rational decisions. We're making emotional decisions. You know, you feel like you're being threatened, so you have to pounce. You have to go in, you know, and fight that and try to counteract what they're saying or what they're doing, or trying to disprove what they're trying to say, or what they're trying to trigger you on with your fear. So, and basically it gives them the advantage because you're not thinking clearly. The next thing is they're trying to break you, right? They're trying to just break you to where you just want to give up. That it's just like, I can't deal with this anymore. You know, I tap the mat, you win. Because if you give up, then it makes it easy for them. Then they get everything that they want. If they want the kids, they get the kids. If they want all your money, they get all your money. And the thing is, I've known a lot of men and guy friends of mine who they get to that point. They're just like, you know what? I want this out of my hair. I don't care. I'll give them whatever they want, and they walk away. Now, some of these guys don't have kids, and they're walking away from possessions and money. And part of that is I think it's an attempt by the target in this case to say, you know what, you don't own me, I don't care, none of this stuff means anything to me. It's a little harder whenever this stuff does mean something to you, whenever it's your kids, and you do want to fight, and you do want to, I mean, you're not just going to give into it, right? But it's incredibly scary. I mean, it's incredibly intimidating and frustrating, and you just really don't know, you know, what end is up. And that's what they're trying to do. That's what they are trying to do. They are trying to get you so emotionally out of control to where you are, again, you're making emotional decisions, you're not thinking straight, and ultimately they're hoping that you'll just break and back down. Now, the problem with dealing with people like this is they have an amazing amount of stamina to continue this. Typically, the only way they start to back off is whenever their mask starts slipping and they start to be exposed. Now, when that starts happening, then typically they will back off because they don't want to risk being exposed. Okay, so then that rolls into methodologies of how to actually cope whenever you're dealing with this and you're in the midst of it, right? Okay, first thing is understand this is a tactic. This is a tactic that they are using to try to control you. If you can accept that, or take a step back, take a pause, and realize that, then it gives some of the power back to you, because you realize that it's based in their mentality of trying to control you. Okay, so now the next thing is, although their outcomes could be true, right? You could lose complete access to your kids. You could lose all your stuff. You could lose your retirement accounts. You can lose, money and whatever is important to you. If you have some prized, item that they're threatening, there's a potential that you could lose it. Okay? But more than likely, those outcomes aren't really reasonable, right? If you have an attorney, try to talk to an attorney and get their feed on it. They'll probably tell you that there is a risk, because there always is a risk when you go to court. But, try to make a rational look at it and realize that the narcissist is actually trying to blow out of proportion the potential to make you scared, to make you confused, and to basically make you make bad decisions. Now think about it. They live in this environment, so they're really good at it. So that's how they are able to, in court and other important meetings, parent-teacher meetings, whatever, all the different instances where you've had interactions with them, where they come across as completely normal, fine, and you're the one who's crazy. And that's what they're trying to do. So the bottom line is, you have to make peace with the outcome and work to remove emotions from the equation. I guess what I'm saying by that is just, you have to accept that, there's a potential that something bad can really happen, and just make your peace with it, and don't allow your emotions to control you. That is the most important thing on this, because that's what they're doing. They are messing with your emotions to get an advantage, to make you scared, to make you freaked out, to make you lose sleep, to do all those things. And they're not even there, right? I mean, you're not even with them anymore, and they're still able to control your emotions. So take the power back. Okay, I'm going to wrap this video up. If you have some comments or situations where you've had to deal with the fear tactics, and maybe you have some techniques that you've used to help you deal with it, put them in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you dislike this video, give it a thumbs down. And if you like my channel, please subscribe. And I will talk to you guys on the next video. So take care. Bye. Hey guys, Dwayne here. Wanted to talk to you a little bit about the narcissistic fog. In this video, I'm going to go over a little bit about what it is, how it makes you feel, projection, how the person will project things onto you to cause it, arguments, which also help basically induce that narcissistic fog, and then some tips on how to deal with it. So the first thing is what is it? Okay, so basically it's, like when you're in a fog, you really can't see a whole heck of a lot. You're kind of just focused on whatever you can see in front of you, because that's the only really the vision you have. So basically the narcissistic fog is like a state of confusion. You're not really sure what's going on. You're kind of in a haze. You're not seeing things clearly. You're really only seeing what they want you to see. They're also going to basically do things that will emotionally deregulate you, and that ties into the confusion. Basically, it'll be things where if you're having a good day, they'll probably do something just to throw you out of it. It's like it's almost like if you're having a good day and they didn't decide that you can have a good day, then they'll do something to pull the rug out from underneath you. They'll start an argument, or they'll bring up something just to kind of throw you off. Part of that is it's a control tactic, right? I mean, so what they're doing is they are trying to throw you off. They are trying to get you back into the space or the mindset that they want you in, which makes it easier for them to control you. Now, the thing is, on that, how does it make you feel? Okay, and the reason I bring this up is because if you can see that it's going on, or you see that you're in the middle of it, it can help you understand it and regain control of yourself. So, I mean, the first thing, like I said, it's going to make you feel confused, like I was talking about before. It's going to make you feel off balanced. It's going to make you question yourself. You're going to be questioning whether you're seeing things correctly. Now, this can come up in a bunch of different ways. Now, I mean, there's basically two kinds of, in my opinion, there's two kinds of ways this kind of plays out. One is a more overt way, which I've talked about in the past, and typically, not always, but typically, a guy kind of will fall into the more overt category, where it'll be more in your face, more aggressive, more accusations and stuff like that, which will, that's tough in and of itself. But it produces the same thing, right? I mean, if you're experiencing that, then you're going to be confused, you're going to be off balance, you're going to be questioning yourself. I mean, it's more in your face, right? They'll be saying stuff directly to you that you just know, your brain is saying, this isn't true, this isn't right. Now, the flip side to that is a more passive-aggressive, or the more covert narcissistic type of way of doing things, where then it's really subtle. It's little comments. It's little, I was talking to someone the other day, and we were talking about different ways that this could come up. And when I was talking to her, we were talking about the comment of do I look fat? Do I look fat in this dress or in these clothes? And we were thinking about it, and it's like, okay, well, it's kind of that's kind of a lose-lose question, because the answer is either yes or no. But think about it this way: what if you answered, oh, not in that dress? It's like, oh, wait a minute. So do I look bad in other stuff? And it was kind of interesting, because when we were talking about it, it was like we came up with that response, and it's almost sometimes the weird part is like it's hard to think of those things. It's hard to come up with it. And it was like, so we were running down this laundry list of things that could be said and it kind of rolls into the whole argument thing I want to talk to you in a minute. But just to kind of run this thought through, okay, so for instance, if you said to me, oh, do I look good in this dress? And I go, well, yeah, you look good in that one. And then if you were like, well, wait a minute, what does that mean? And then, you could come back and go, well, why are you getting so defensive? I said you look good in that one. What are you talking about? I mean, I said no, or actually, you probably wouldn't do that. You'd probably say, I said you look good, right? I mean, so it makes you question yourself on, oh, well, they were just being, they were being positive, or, you start questioning yourself, because they can tie it into a comment that makes sense, right? And you want to. Your brain is probably telling you to run for the hills. But at the same time, part of you is telling you, oh no, this isn't, everything is fine. You're just being oversensitive. You'll attack yourself to say, oh no, that's not what it was. But see, but the whole point of it is to throw you off, to make you question yourself, to make you, feel like you're losing your mind. I mean, it's and it produces a fog, right? I mean, that's the whole thing. You're in this state where you're not really sure what end is up. It's like being in a fog bank where if you're walking a certain direction and you think you're walking towards your car, hypothetically, but you run into a wall because you can't see and you went in the wrong direction. Now, the next part of this is projection. Okay, and what they're going to do on that is they are going to basically turn around and place their feelings on you, their insecurities, their fears, sometimes it's even what they're doing, right? I mean, if they're doing something, I'm trying to, on the guy's side, I mean, not on the guy's side, let's just say the cheating side. Very, very typical that if somebody is cheating, they will accuse you of cheating. If you're out too late, well, why are you out so late? Who are you talking to? Why are you talking to somebody, or why are you talking to them? If you're, if you're a guy and you're talking to a girl, well, why are you talking to him? Who's that? Why do you talk to him? I mean, it's just, it's stupid stuff like that. And so now that doesn't necessarily mean they are cheating, but that's what I'm talking about with projection. They will project things onto you. And the crazy part about it is sometimes, especially when it's subtle, you might actually believe it. I had, I'm trying to think of a good example of this, but I was just talking to someone the other day who kind of fell under this, and I had to walk them through a process. Now, this was a work thing, but what I was doing is I was basically saying, okay, running through this scenario, and they were criticizing me and completely defending this other person. Oh, this other person is the greatest thing in the world and everything. And finally, I walked them into a point where they validated, even though they didn't know they do it, validated what the person was doing. And it was really interesting because that person was projecting what they were doing towards someone else. And in this particular situation, this person was buying into it. And when we got to that point, and I said, basically, do you see what's going on? And they just looked like it looked like the fog had cleared, and they had a clearer picture of what's going on. So it comes up in different ways. I mean, that was a non-relationship sort of situation. You're probably dealing with it in a romantic relationship situation, and it can come up different ways, right? It can be the overt, in your face, yelling at you because you did something, and they're over controlling because they think that you're doing what they're doing, or it's really subtle and covert. And as I've said before, personally, okay, they're all bad. I mean, it's hard to say, because I mean, there's people in an overt state, they stay too. I guess maybe in some ways I'm saying that in a covert situation, it's easier to be tricked. So maybe I'm giving myself a pass, so to speak, because I didn't see it. But it's all the same. It's all the same. I mean, bottom line is it's not appropriate behavior towards you, whether it's overt or covert, or passive aggressive. It's not good. The fact that you've stayed with it or enabled it or whatever, is basically a really big demonstration or indicator that you have your own issues that you need to deal with. And if you're watching this video, you're working on that, and I applaud you on that, because you need to. And the more you figure this stuff out, the happier you're going to be. I mean, there's going to be things on here that you're going to go through that aren't going to be fun and easy, and they're going to be painful. And the one thing is, and I'll just make this as a small mention, because I'm going to make a video about this too. When you find somebody who treats you right, and you haven't been treated right, and you're used to not being treated right because of your last relationship, because of the way you grew up with your parents, and then more than likely the way the people you surrounded yourself with kind of help reinforce this feeling or opinion of yourself. When you find somebody that treats you right, it is going to blow your mind and cause you all kinds of anxieties, because it's not going to make any sense. You're going to have this whole life experience where people have treated you certain ways and things have happened a certain way, and when somebody completely comes in and does the absolute opposite of that, but doing it in the way that you always wanted the other person to treat you, it's going to mess with your head. I've experienced that. I mean, I was fortunate enough that in the relationship I'm in, the person, understood what was going on and basically gave me some time to work through it. But it was a really, that in and of itself was a difficult situation. And you wouldn't think of it being difficult. You would think, oh, well, if you find somebody that treats you the way you should be treated and treats you with respect and respects your boundaries, that you would be, overjoyed, and you will be, but it'll also mess with you too. So I kind of went off on a tangent there, but the whole thing with the projection is them placing their feelings and their fears and their emotion towards you, and they're able to do it in such a way that you'll actually, rolling back up to what I said before, you're going to question yourself. You're going to be thinking, am I
what ruined the whole match. Now you're alone because you wanted to do that garbage.
You're obviously not doing, that's one thing. But I mean, if they're doing stuff like, I know you were someplace, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a scenario, if someone said, Billy said, they saw you, here, and at some point you might be like, well, was I there? I mean, you'll do it. You'll like, okay, well, maybe I was. I mean, did I go there? Where was I that day? Was it a different day? I mean, stuff like that. And it's just throwing you off. Which then leads into, and these all basically tie together. It's, arguments, right? I mean, so a projection kind of rolls into starting arguments for no apparent reason. All right, it seems like no apparent reason. I mean, you can be having a good day, and that'll be the day that, you always, you never. That's what I used to like to call them. You always do X, and you never do, you never do this. And it's like, what? And it kind of throws you off. You're just like, whoa, wait a minute, what happened? It's like, comes out of left field.
And it's done to keep you off balance. So think about it. If you're experiencing any of this, if any of this is making sense, think about this for a minute. Okay, think back to a time, the last time that happened, and think about it. Okay, so you had the argument. So you're thinking about the argument. Move a little bit before the argument. More than likely, you were probably in a really good mood, having a really good day. Something good had happened. You know, you got a good deal on something. You did good on a report. You know, you did good on something at work. I mean, your kids did something. Whatever it is, something was good. And then out of nowhere, bam, you get hit with something that just kind of like, whoa, what happens? It keeps you off balance. It kind of emotionally it does. It emotionally deregulates you. You're like in this, whoa, what just happened thing. You're kind of like, you know, freaked out. But think about that, right? And the sad part, guys, is if you haven't experienced any of this, and you try to explain this to somebody and they don't understand it, or they don't have any background in this, they'll think that you're just, you know, like something's wrong with you, because, well, that doesn't make any sense. Because why would someone do that? Why would someone, you know, especially with someone that they're in a relationship that they care about, quote unquote care about, why would they do that? And in a normal thing, you wouldn't, right? You'd be happy for them. You'd want to stay in that happy mode a little bit longer. And so it's all about control and keeping you, you know, not allowing you. It's like, okay, I mean, so if I'm the narcissist, it's like, if I decide that you can be happy, you know, it's like, okay, I've decided, you know, you can be happy now, but I get to make you happy. I get to pat you on the head, or I get to do something to make you feel good. And then whenever I'm done with it, and I don't, okay, you feel good enough, and then stop. I mean, even just thinking about it and just reminiscing about some of the experience I've had, and I'm sure if you're watching this and you're taking that mental step backwards, you're probably going, holy cow, you're right, you know. And that's kind of what happened with me as I started going through this. I mean, it's like these epiphanies would pop up, and it would just blow. I mean,
that's enough to make me not want to play the game.
It's like just, you know, the
when
fog,
I can do a battle and I get zero rewards, because they unmatch me, even though I got hits on them.
So they'll do the
the game is broken.